is organized in the framework of our Skillman International Forum 2020. Well, I'm going first to present myself. I will be moderating this session. My name is Federica Labbadia, and I am a part of the Skillman team. I've been working in the last 10 years in different countries in the European Union, Western Balkans, Northern and Sub-Saharan Africa on Tibet and employment promotion projects. And currently, I am a project manager for the project Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs for CSCS, the lead of the Entrepreneurs Mobility Partnership. CSCS is also the founder and leader of the Skillman Network. Well, transnational mobility and learning is a topic that we have already started to address the last year at our Skillman International Forum 2019, where it was initiated as a specialized session to reflect on the crucial role of mobility, and it ended up with very useful results. So this year, also in the light of the new scenarios that have been created by the COVID-19 outbreak, we are going to address the mobility topic from two different perspectives. So traditional mobility and virtual mobility. And specifically, we are going to listen to three presentations. The first one will be delivered by Concetta Afonso, who is active in research and studies and is an active member of national and international boards and networks for VET, quality assurance, education and ICT, learning mobility, and social inclusion. She is a national and international expert for high-level task forces and committees within well-known institutions like, for example, the European Commission, the EU Parliament, CEDEFOP, ETF, OECD, etc. And Concetta will talk about virtual mobility as a response to COVID-19 pandemic. The second presentation will be delivered by Manos Andreatis, who is the director at Asset Technology in Greece and is responsible for business development, international cooperation, and entrepreneurship issues. He has 20 years of experience in the implementation of national and European projects in the field of Tibet employment and entrepreneurship. And since 2011, he is responsible for the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs program as national contact point in Greece. And since 2018, is also the national coordinator and member of the international board of the Skillman Network. Manos is going to talk about the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs as a way to support entrepreneurial skills through transnational mobility. The last presentation is going to be delivered by Giulia Uccero, who is a project manager at CSCS since February 2019, and she is the responsible person for the Italy Mobility Program, which is the CSDS division for learning mobility initiatives. So Giulia will talk about Italy mobility and virtual mobility as CSCS initiatives for learning mobility. So this is in a nutshell what you are going to listen to today. But before starting, we would like to ask you a few questions because we would like to know a little bit more about you. So right now we are going to launch some polls, very, very short. And we are going to ask you to move to the Slido platform. So you can use the QR code you see on the screen, or you can use the link which Giulia Uccero is just posted in the chat box. So just move to Slido. So the first question that we would like to ask you is, where are you from? Let's see, Egypt. I will start mine as well. So for sure we have Greece as well, even though it's not appearing yet on the screen. You can use the link which is in the chat box. Very interesting. So It's very interesting to see. Well, the biggest part of the attendees today are from Greece and Italy, but it's very interesting that we have attendees coming from both from the EU and also outside of the EU. And thank you very much for attending. We hope that all of you can find the two-day session today. But before starting, there is a second question that we would like to ask to you. So, well, we are going to talk, as I said, about virtual and traditional mobility. But first of all, considering that nowadays we discuss a lot about virtual mobility, we would like to listen from you. What is virtual mobility for you? You can use the same QR code and the same link that you find in the chat. Very interesting. Let's see. So I can read all this, but well, I would like to leave to give you a few more seconds to type your question, your answers to this very important question. But I would like now to give the floor to Concetta Afonso, who is our first speaker, and to comment on the results, but they disappeared from the screen. Julia, let's see if we can.
Yes. Can you, Concetta, can you share your screen?
Yes, I will start with sharing my screen, of course.
So it's very interesting because we had a lot of keywords like opportunities, new learning initiative, exchanging experience, future, something challenging, remote work placement, digital, something we need, ICT, free access from any place, connectivity. Very interesting answers that we got. Well, we are now giving the floor to Concetta, and maybe Concetta, if you want to say a few words about
absolutely, yes.
About
thank
the
you
previous words, and then I give you the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all for the floor. And first of all, good afternoon to everybody. Yes, I have seen a lot of interesting and inspiring words referring to virtual mobility. Of course, I can say as a first input that all of you have touched from a different point of view what we actually consider as virtual mobility. And I see that there are really different points of view. So I hope that through our presentations, we will give you even more interesting inputs, and focusing in particular from focusing the discussion on 2 points of view, the one of people, and of course the one of the institutions and organizations that promote virtual mobility. So thank you so much so far, and I will say that at this point I will start with my presentation, and maybe after we can also open again the discussion and go a little bit closer to the experience and the reflection of each participant. I don't know if you can see my presentation.
Yes, we can.
Okay, fantastic. That's great. So. Of course, I will introduce you my presentation about virtual mobility as a response to the COVID-19 pandemic. As you know, we are facing a difficult period due to the global pandemic and to the health emergency that we are facing. So different kind of tools, especially if they are online and used with new technologies, can be helpful in a period when people have to avoid the free movement or have to anyways to face the difficulties linked to a period like the lockdown. But starting a little bit from our context, I mean, talking in particular about mobility in relation to the European context. I have seen that a lot of people that are participating in this event come from Europe, but also from outside Europe. So maybe for those that live and work in European countries, it's very common to look at mobility in particular through the initiatives that European institutions promote in terms of mobility. As many of you probably know, a lot of EU documents have introduced the concept of mobility as an important measure, as an important element in terms of supporting the employability of people, and in particular in terms of supporting mutual and intercultural understanding between EU citizens and also people that come from abroad EU. In particular, as many of you know, mobility is an important action when it comes to EU programs linked to learning abroad. In 2006, with the lifelong learning program, a first very important definition of mobility was included in EU documents. Mobility was considered as a period or to spend abroad in different member states in order to undertake study and work experiences, as well as to obtain and realize a learning or teaching activity abroad. The lifelong learning program was, of course, an important step when we look at international and transnational mobility, because it was the continuation of a long tradition that Europe had in terms of mobility, and it was the link to the programs that have been introduced after this important period covered by the lifelong learning program, which ended in 2013. In 2006, the same year of the lifelong learning program, another important document was introduced by the European institutions, the recommendation on the European Quality Charter for Mobility. This document stresses again how mobility is important. In particular, the focus in this document is not only about mobility for young people, but also about mobility for adults. In particular, this document has also put mobility in relation to formal and informal learning, and it stresses also the importance of mobility in terms of enhancing professional and personal development of those people that participate in the mobility experiences abroad. This EU recommendation also included 10 key principles in order to guarantee high quality in the mobility experience abroad. I will not go through these 10 principles, but I would like just to stress how it is important, starting from this recommendation, to consider a mobility project in all the different phases and steps that it can include. Not only the experience in itself is very relevant and important, but it's also important to invest in pre and post activities, and in that case it's also important to look at the information and guidance that people need in order to realize a successful experience. Through the EU programs, we can see how physical mobility has been promoted, supported, and analyzed with a particular attention to its impact on individuals and organizations. Studies include the effects of mobility on knowledge, skills, and employability for individuals, as well as the internationalization and modernization of EU organizations that carry out mobility projects. After the lifelong learning program, probably many of you know, another important program introduced at EU level is the Erasmus Plus program. Established in 2013, the Erasmus Plus regulation introduced a very important new concept, the concept of learning mobility. When learning mobility stands for a physical stay abroad in another country, a country other than the country of residence, the mobility can be undertaken for studying, training, or non-formal or informal learning, and usually it can include different forms: traineeships, apprenticeships, youth exchange, volunteering, teaching, or participation in a professional development activity. The Erasmus Plus program is very important also because for the first time the EU institutions also focused a lot on the use of ICT and the new technologies, and in particular in this program and in its regulation we can see also the attention to virtual mobility. In fact, through this EU program, we had also the first EU definition about virtual mobility, seen as a set of activities supported by information and communications technology, including e-learning, organized at institutional level, that tries or facilitate transnational and or international collaborative experiences in the context of teaching and or learning. So you can see that virtual mobility as a project, as an initiative, as an experience abroad was promoted also before the difficult period that we are facing now with the COVID-19 pandemic. But to say the truth, it's exactly in these difficult times that we really understood how it could be important to promote this kind of mobility, and which could be the added value compared to physical mobility that we promoted so much in the past and that we still are supporting a lot. As virtual mobility started to become very embedded, and it became more and more as an action included in different kind of initiatives and projects, also a lot of studies and research started to go on about virtual mobility. Just summarizing briefly some of the main findings related to virtual mobility, we can see how studies shows the importance of virtual mobility in terms of skills improvement. In particular, we have technical knowledge, but also hard skills. We have also digital competencies, very important also in relation to the European Commission's framework of digital competencies. We have also the virtual mobility as an important element that brings to the improvement of intercultural communication, self-esteem and curiosity, active listening, and also tolerance, in particular with regards to different cultures. And we have also a particular attention to virtual mobility when it comes to the enhancement of soft skills, such as foreign languages, in particular English, teamworking, problem solving, and finally also very important, the support in terms of self and global awareness and acquisition of critical and analytical thinking. So in 2017, the European Commission celebrated the 30 years of Erasmus mobility, confirming Erasmus Plus as a very important program. And in 2019, an impact study was published, and it reports in particular how Erasmus mobility is very important for students' intercultural and interpersonal skills acquisition and competencies acquisition. In particular, also the focus is on self-confidence, the ability to achieve different goals, social and cultural openness, as well as the acquisition of language skills. Nevertheless, we have to say that despite all these studies and a lot of projects and exchange that have been realized, especially because of the investment that we had in physical mobility compared to virtual mobility, there was also recognition of the limits of physical mobility and the need to promote more inclusive programs, especially when we look to the people that need more to be supported, people that come from a wider range of backgrounds, cultures, and settings. So nowadays we can say that virtual mobility is very important because it can create a link to formal and informal education, but in particular it is very important when it comes to skill building and to providing transformative opportunities to different target groups. So virtual mobility can expand the reach and the scope of traditional intercultural learning settings. And looking at the future, we can say that virtual mobility will certainly be closely linked also to the new Erasmus program 2021-2027 and to other EU initiatives, which will have a strong focus on green, inclusive, and innovative digital and virtual transnational learning opportunities.
1 minute left, Concetta.
No, that's okay. I'm fine. So I will
Perfect.
stop here. Thank you so much for your attention. And as I said before, I'm open to your questions and, of course, to a fruitful discussion with all the participants. Thank you so much.
So thank you very much, Concetta. This was a very interesting presentation. And we are, due to the technical problem, we have some issues with the time, so we will get back to the word cloud that you have done at the very beginning to comment it and to see the differences after listening to your presentation. Now, if you stop sharing your screen, Concetta, we can give the floor to our next speaker, Manos Andreadis, who is going to present for us the Erasmus for young entrepreneurs. Thank you very much.
Sorry, just 1 second.
Thank you, Federica. After this very interesting presentation from Ms. Fonzo, I will have the opportunity to present you one of these mobility programs that exist. It is called Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs. We heard a lot about the Erasmus Plus, so now it is a good opportunity to see another part of the Erasmus initiatives, which now is about entrepreneurship. Here we are. Well, I'm Manos Andreadis from Assetech, established in Athens, Greece. I'm contact person for Assetech as intermediary organization for Greece, and also member of the Entrepreneurs Mobility European Partnership. The Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs program is operating under the COSME, the program of European Commission for the Competitiveness of Small and Medium Enterprises. And it is one of the main actions in the area of encouragement of entrepreneurship. Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs is a mobility program which foresees cross-border exchanges with the aim to help new or aspiring entrepreneurs to learn from experienced entrepreneurs who are running small and medium enterprises in the participating countries. The new entrepreneur travels to the host entrepreneur, and there they work together and have the possibility to exchange knowledge and business ideas which are mutually beneficial. The collaboration takes part for a period of from 1 to 6 months, and it is partly financed by the European Commission. So starting with the program, let's see who can participate and what are the main definitions of the program. so we can distinguish new entrepreneurs and host entrepreneurs. New entrepreneurs are the ones who are firmly planning to set up their own business, which means that they don't have one so far, but they have an idea for setting up an enterprise. Or they have already set up their own company and they have it for less than 3 years. This is the part concerning the young entrepreneurs. On the other hand, we have the experienced entrepreneurs who are acting as host entrepreneurs, and they are the ones who own and manage their own enterprise for more than 3 years. So actually, with these definitions, we can understand that everybody, almost everybody, can participate in the program, as many young people can be considered as potential future entrepreneurs. Since they have an idea, since they have a plan, a business plan, then they can take part. And this gives the opportunity to many young people to participate. With the participation to the program, what are the benefits? This is very important. Concerning the young entrepreneurs, most of the benefits, we can say that they are more or less obvious. First of all, they are going to acquire the entrepreneurial and technical knowledge and skills. And they are going to build their self-confidence in order to proceed with their own idea. Also, they will have the opportunity to develop cross-border business cooperation, especially with the host entrepreneur with whom they will start cooperating in the frames of the program. Also, they will have the opportunity to network and build strong relationships. There are many other benefits that we can refer, some soft skills, language skills, insights in foreign business environments, knowledge of different cultural organization settings, and many more. Each young entrepreneur sets his or her own aims and then makes the relevant plan. On the other hand, we have the host entrepreneurs, because all these matches, all these relationships have to be mutual beneficial. So the host entrepreneurs who are hosting the young entrepreneur have the opportunity to cooperate with a young person who has fresh ideas and can bring new skills and knowledge to his enterprise. Additionally, they can act as coaches or mentors and support the young entrepreneur, having the opportunity to extend this cooperation after the end of the program and as soon as the young person establishes her own business. The large majority of the host entrepreneurs, we can say from our experience, enjoyed this experience of the program so much that they decided to host other new entrepreneurs after completing the first exchange. One specification that we also have to make, speaking especially for young entrepreneurs, we have to say that the term young or new entrepreneur does not have to do with the age. It has to do with the entrepreneurial experience. So we may have a person of 26 years old who has 5 years of entrepreneurial experience, and this cannot be considered young for the program. This person can be considered as an experienced and can act as a host. What types of activities can take place under the program? There is no restriction here. Whatever the business idea and the company is, it can take part in the program. We can see here in this graph some business activities, but they are just statistics from the participation so far. I will give you some concrete examples of the exchanges that are taking place now under the Entrepreneurs Mobility Consortium. For example, last week we have the approval of a Greek young entrepreneur to go to Cyprus in the tourism sector. Also last week we had the approval of an Italian young architect to go to France to have his exchange there. We also have a Greek pastry chef who is now in Italy and has her cooperation with an Italian experienced entrepreneur. These are some examples which show that, that we have no restriction to the business activity and the professional activity of the entrepreneurs. For the exchange, as we said, there is a financial support from European Commission. Here in this table, we can see the monthly allowances given to the young entrepreneurs. For example, we have for Belgium, Germany, Spain, Netherlands, 830 euros per month. For Italy, is 900 euro per month. For Denmark, and 1,100, etc. This monthly allowance is given to the young entrepreneur in order to cover her own travel expenses, accommodation, and the expenses during the stay. This is a fixed amount and it is given every month. Because we saw during the whole Skillman conference that we have participants from all over the world, I would take the opportunity to inform that apart from the European Union and the Balkan countries which are participating, recently we have an extension of the destination countries. It is the global Erasmus. So nowadays we have the young entrepreneurs have the opportunity to have their exchange in 2 states in America. It is Pennsylvania and New York, also Israel and Singapore, while there is an opportunity, these countries to be further extended and also to add Canada, South Korea, Taiwan, and extend also the states in America. The program wants to extend the scope to more continents and to more countries. And this is a phase that is taking place step by step. We have these countries now, a potential extension, and more countries to follow. How does it work?
1 minute left.
How many?
1 minute.
2 minutes.
Thank you.
I will not go into technical, the technical characteristics of the program. I would just like to say that there are 4 stages for the implementation. The first is the entrepreneurs need the information and registration process, which is taking place on the www.erasmus/entrepreneurs.eu. Then, after their approval, they have access in the database where they can search and come in communication with the other party. Then they have to make the final arrangements and proceed with the relationship. This goes very quickly, but if you contact us, the Entrepreneurs Mobility Consortium, which consists of 10 partners from 10 respecting European countries: Italy, Greece, Turkey, Spain, Romania, Germany, Czech Republic, Lithuania, and Sweden. And Entrepreneurs Mobility is the top performing consortium in Europe, as you can see in the graph, operating the last 10 years with the best performance in European level. You can contact us. You can contact us also via Facebook on entrepreneurs.mobility, and you will have direct access to the person responsible for the country and take advantage of the program. Last, before I close this presentation very quickly, I would like to say that each program finally is assessed by its success. And these 10 years, Entrepreneurs Mobility Consortium has to present many case studies, many success stories. I will just refer one. It is the picture that you see on the upper part of the slide, which is the picture that you will see when you enter the main European portal. For the 10 years operation of the program, there was a competition for the award of the Entrepreneur of the Decade. And we are very, very glad, both as intermediary organization and as a consortium, Entrepreneurs Mobility Consortium, that this award was received by one of our entrepreneurs after a selection and evaluation process that took place. For more information, as I said, please contact us and we'll be glad to support you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manas. We are running out of time, and in 12 minutes we will be all automatically redirected to the plenary. So I just give the floor very quickly to Giulia for the next presentation.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you see my screen now? Okay, perfect.
Yes, yes.
So before starting with my presentation, I would like to remark that from 2009, CSCS is the lead intermediary organization of Erasmus for Young Entrepreneur Program of Entrepreneur Mobility Consortium. And last year it was appointed out by European Commission as the most active performer at the decade of the program. So now we will see this short video about one of the CSCS host entrepreneur.
Ciao Maurizio.
Ciao, buongiorno.
Presentati un attimo, dai, dici chi sei e
sorry Giulia, the subtitle shall be in English.
Ho 38 anni, sono sardo, sono originario di Cagliari. Sono l'amministratore di un'azienda che si chiama Sun & Sardinia, che si occupa di formazione, progettazione e consulenza nel mondo della destination management. Noi abbiamo base in Sardegna, però in realtà la nostra attività varca il perimetro della nostra isola per interessarsi anche di faccende e di progetti sia nazionali sia internazionali. Noi abbiamo deciso di aderire al progetto Erasmus per giovani imprenditori proprio per allargare i nostri confini, sia in termini di competenze da assorbire dai nuovi imprenditori, sia in termini di potenziale creazione di progetti transnazionali.
Posso chiederti, Maurizio, se per te è stata un'esperienza positiva in generale, quali sono stati, diciamo, gli aspetti più positivi che hai riscontrato durante questa esperienza?
È stata sicuramente un'esperienza positiva. L'aspetto che mi è piaciuto di più è quello di poter implementare nelle dinamiche della mia azienda degli aspetti di imprenditorialità che magari nella nostra sensibilità non erano concepiti e contemplati.
Quali sono le principali attività che hai svolto nel periodo di scambio appunto del programma?
Con i giovani imprenditori abbiamo lavorato nella creazione di piani di marketing sia sul territorio sardo sia in piani di sviluppo per aziende che operano nel territorio, ma abbiamo anche lavorato nella progettazione di fiere di educational tour che hanno varcato i confini della Sardegna per dei clienti che lavorano in contesti internazionali.
Soltanto feedback positivi, mi sembra di capire da parte tua, Maurizio. Se dovessi dire la rifarei questa esperienza, tu cosa rispondi a questa domanda?
Assolutamente sì, sono soddisfatto, quindi mi auguro che i progetti di collaborazione e soprattutto anche con l'intermediario CSCS, che ci ha dato una mano gigantesca nell'individuazione delle figure più adatte, no? E quindi ecco, mi auguro che questa collaborazione, questa sinergia possa andare avanti.
Benissimo, grazie Maurizio. Ti sentissi di poter consigliare a nuovi candidati per il programma degli anni a venire, quali sono i 3 consigli che daresti ai nuovi imprenditori del futuro?
Per quanto riguarda le mie attività, io consiglierei 3 aspetti. Uno è banalissimo, e quindi per chi arriva sul territorio, fatevi furbi, create una base di conoscenza della lingua italiana che ci permetta anche di inserirvi nei piani di progettazione, e poi la possibilità di monitorare progressivamente, quindi non essere banali nello studio e nell'analisi dei dati. E l'altro consiglio è uno sguardo sempre a Bruxelles e dintorni per capire le dinamiche della progettazione. formazione.
Benissimo, grazie mille Maurizio, buona fortuna per la vita e per il tuo business. Grazie. Ciao.
Grazie mille.
Okay, so as Federica said before, I'm the responsible person for Italy Mobility Program, the CSS division for Learning Mobility Initiatives. CSCS is located in Pistoia, in the heart of Tuscany, and it is accredited as a VET center by the regional government. CSCS has the pleasure to host in Tuscany over 150 international mobility trainees every year. In addition to higher vocational education students, Italy Mobility implements mobility exchanges for young people with special learning needs. We offer several services such as work placement, in which we analyze the learner profiles, find for him or her the most suitable host company, and we prepare all the necessary documents. We also provide a tutoring and support service, which is very important. We offer different kind of accommodation, and while as optional services, we provide Italian lessons and airport transfer. Another kind of service that among traditional mobilities we offer is IMI study visits, usually last from 3 to 5 intensive working days, and enable participants to experience Tuscany's productive area, its industrial clusters and its products. Recently, we have also organized a successful online study visit about the green and blue economy. Here I had prepared a nice video about the Italy Mobility project, but due to the time, I kindly invite you to visit our social media pages, which you can find this video and more information about the traditional Italy Mobility programs. And of course, you can also contact me by mail to learn more. As a result of COVID-19 pandemic, we had most of that mobilities scheduled for this year have been cancelled or postponed until further notice, including incoming Italy Mobility projects. And for this reason, we started creating a new service, a new learning initiative, Italy Virtual Mobility. And at the same time, we launched a survey aimed of collecting valuable information and feedback on virtual mobility. So this, very shortly, this virtual mobility is a solution aimed at promoting the intercultural dialogue and acquiring professional skills through digital learning tools. With this initiative, trainees can develop their skills from home or school with a multicultural tutor and a real international teamwork. Everything is managed through teleworking softwares that allow self-monitor activities, including task and time management. And there is a system which helps reminding the trainees task and keeping a high level of focus and attention. Here we have some of the first results of our research. This survey it will be soon published. Here we can see that several kind of respondables participated, both public organization, general secondary schools, the institutes, and many others. And the survey collected more than 200 of respondents from 70 different countries. We can see from this map, from India to America, Europe, a lot of different countries. So as I will say before, we will soon publish this survey in order to share the information acquired about virtual mobility. So thank you very much for my attention. As I said before, if you need more information about virtual and e-mobility, here you can have my contact details.
So thank you very much. For all the presentations, I hope you had a broader view about the different options. So about virtual mobility, about the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs, the Italy Mobility Program. We left the contacts in the chat box, so you can contact us and ASETEC at any moment for your questions. We are really sorry that we can't answer to your questions live, but unfortunately our session will expire in few minutes. We have the countdown on the top at the right, and but maybe we can still do one last poll before leaving the session, just to see the link to the poll. You can find it in the chat box. Julia?
Yes.
So how do you see the mobility in the future? Well, everybody sees it as a blended. Of course, I think the COVID-19 outbreak gave to all of us a different perspective, and we weren't considering very likely virtual mobility before. But now, after the COVID-19 outbreak, it's a reality. It's something that is in all our lives, as, for example, also this event, a conference today is showing us. And the future will surely be blended, or let's see. As Julia mentioned, with CSCS, we started to do a research the last February on virtual mobility. So it was before it was so present in our lives, and what we would like to do is to continue our research and to interview again the same people we interviewed the last February, to ask them the same questions and to see if they will provide us different answers almost a year after, and after everything has gone virtual in the last month. We will surely share the research for you. I would like to use the last seconds just to ask to Concetta and Manos one keyword to leave to us today. Just one keyword. Unmute yourself.
Yes, okay, thank you so much. So I think that blended is exactly the word that I would use as well, but I would also add access, more access for all.
Access for all. Manos, your word for today?
Yes, of course, equal opportunities, which is paraphrasing what Concetta mentioned, equal opportunities for all. And certainly mobility is a very powerful word by itself.
Okay, so which is your keyword, Manos? I didn't understand. So access for Concetta, and for you, power of mobility.
No, I said mobility is a powerful word by itself.
Ah, mobility, okay.
Mobility, yes.
Mobility itself, access
I would
and
say
mobility.
that everybody has to do it and put it in his learning plans.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you. And Julia, for you, one keyword from you. You have to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I would say that new opportunities. So
Okay.
even if this situation was very unexpected, it offered us new opportunities to mobility, different kind of mobilities.
Okay, so we would like to leave you also with a last question. In 2 minutes, no, we don't have time because they are warning us that our room will be closed in 2 minutes. So, well, I would like to take again the chance to thank you all, to thank Concetta for her presentation on virtual mobility. Very interesting, thank you, and very very recent and very in line with the time we are living. Thank you, Manos, for presenting us the Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs. As we have written down in the chat box, feel free to contact Manos for Greece, CSCS for Italy, or us also if you are interested in other countries. For sure, we can support you. Feel free to contact Julia and the email I have indicated in the chat box for the Italy Mobility Initiative of CSCS, if you would like to do your exchange to Italy. And well, thank you all, and I hope you will still keep on enjoying the remaining sessions at our Skillman International Forum. Thank you all. Have a nice day and have a nice afternoon. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.